In a world where change is the only constant, MoChoumil stands at the forefront, guiding title professionals to not just grow their businesses, but to master the art of innovation. With every episode, you're handed the keys to unlock unparalleled growth and stay ahead of the curve. Get ready for a transformative journey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Title Agents podcast, where we bring you expert insights, industry trends, and strategies to help title professionals stay ahead. I am your host, MoChoumil, CEO of Alltech National Title. And today, we have an exciting guest who's making a real impact in the title industry, especially for women in this field. Joining us today is Kimberly Whitlock, Operations Manager for a National Title Operation at Westcor. With years of experience in title operations and a deep passion for empowering professionals, Kimberly is also a driving force behind Women in Title, a community dedicated to supporting and uplifting women in our industry. In this episode, we'll talk about the evolving role of women in title, the challenges and opportunities they face, and how organizations like Women in Title are making a difference. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just getting started, this conversation will inspire and equip you to grow your career. Let's dive in. Hello, Kim, and welcome to the podcast. Can you start by sharing a bit about your background and what led you to the title industry?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, first of all. I'm really happy to be here. So I started in the industry about 15, 16 years ago. Like most of us, I didn't get into this on purpose. I was actually going to go to nursing school. But at the time, there was a long wait for nursing school. So I happened to get into title through a friend of, a neighborhood friend, acquaintance, if you will. And I fell in love with it. So here I am. It's like quicksand. Once you get in, you can't get out.
Yeah, that's a new one. I usually call it a black hole once you get in.
Yes.
I like quicksand too. That's a great analogy.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. Growing up, it was like on movies and things. I was scared of quicksand, but now that's what I use.
Does that even exist, or is it only in movies, the quicksand?
I think I don't know. I've never seen it in real life, so it might just be movies.
Don't want to find out, right? Don't want to be stuck.
Exactly. No, thank you.
Yeah. So what inspired you to create or get involved with Women in Title? Was there a specific moment or a challenge that sparks this initiative?
Yeah, so I started Women in Title late 2022, and it really was born from a need of women, colleagues and friends I've made through the industry, just, feeling that sense of competitiveness, or they felt like they couldn't come to other women who might be in similar positions to ask for advice. I've told the story before where I was working at different underwriters early in my career, and a lot of our industry is women. And so a lot of those agents who would call for advice were women, and they were intimidated by our older male underwriting counsels. So I found that they would come to me a lot. And, I enjoyed that. But when I went back to the agency side, they didn't want to ask me those questions anymore because they thought we were competition. And I really wanted to start this group to make every woman feel that they had a community behind them and they can come to any of us for support. I wanted every woman to feel supported and like that network behind them, whether you have a specific title question, call me up, I'll help you. Or you want career advice? Hey, I'm here. Something happens, you just want to, vet, we're all here. And so, yeah, that's really how it started.
Awesome. What's the structure of the group, and what's it? Can you tell us, dig a little more into depth about it?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we started in Denver, Colorado. We started with monthly coffee meetups. Our very first meeting was only 7 women. I was so nervous. It is a good start. I was so nervous though walking up. I didn't think anyone was going to show up. I was hopeful, but I didn't know what to expect. And that first group of 7 women were amazing. They came with notebooks and pens, and they were ready to go with their questions and take notes. And that was really inspiring. And so from that point on, we have not missed a month. And now we have upwards of, sometimes more than 20 women. We've since moved to a larger coffee shop in a more central location. And so here in Denver, besides our monthly meetups, we also do a yearly charity event. And so typically what we'll do is at the end of the year, we pick a charity together, something local to the community that benefits and supports women in our industry, in our community. And we do something around that, whether that's collecting donations or collecting funds to help. And so that's been really successful. This year, we're rolling out multiple charity events, which is really exciting. And then last year, I met an incredible woman at October Research's Women's Leadership Summit. Her name is Liz Castleman. And we got to talking, and she really inspired me. And we've taken this now, central to Colorado organization, and we're across the country now. So we have chapters in Utah, Texas.
That's awesome.
Louisiana. I mean, they're popping up everywhere. Florida's coming. Just every day, we're hearing from more women who want to start up in their cities and their states, and yeah.
Do you have anything in DC or?
Nothing in DC yet. Nothing in DC.
I gotta connect you with Hope. Maybe she can help you get us started in DC.
That would be amazing. I mean, I think DC has an amazing title community, and it'd be great to bring our community to DC. It's a really great. Women have found a lot of value, a lot of support, and a lot of encouragement from our group. So I'm really proud of it.
So you emphasize networking and mentorship. What advice do you have for women looking to build strong professional connections in this industry?
So as many will probably agree, our industry is about relationships. Early on in my career, I worked my butt off, and I realized, and I'm very much a title person. I started off as a title examiner. So I love
Same
that.
here.
Great. Yeah. I mean, I love that. I love digging in and researching. And so a lot of my career in the beginning was behind the desk. And I realized that once I started branching out and making those connections with others, my career just blossomed. And I speak a lot about, sorry about that. Early on in my career, my first agency job, our underwriter, they had a female underwriting counsel, and she was a really big inspiration to me. And we've been in touch ever since. She's part of our community. She's been a great mentor. So yeah, I think the advice I would give is don't be scared to reach out to other women or men in our industry and spark those relationships and those conversations. I think that you'll be surprised. I know that I was how willing others are to build those relationships with you and to share their knowledge and to help you, along your career path.
How has the role of women in title evolved over the years? And are you seeing more leadership opportunities for women?
Yeah, I think, yes, I am. I definitely, since the start of my career, I've seen more women in leadership roles. I think we have a lot of, a long way to go still, but a lot of that is going to change when we start having these conversations openly about, women wanting those leadership roles, and they want to break out of the, the silos that they've been put in. Something I talk about a lot is, like I just mentioned, I started as a title examiner. I'm a title nerd, and I love it. But early on in my career, I was applying for title jobs, for a title examiner, title officer, and I would get calls back, and they would be like, well, we'll hire you for an escrow position. And so a lot of women in our industry experience that as well. They're pushed into escrow positions, and sometimes there's not a lot of movement on the escrow side. You could be an escrow manager, things like that, but a lot of times you get stuck in that role. So I'd like to see more women just think outside the box and know that they can go for those leadership roles. And I think that we're seeing that now because we see powerful, strong women in leadership roles, and we're knowing that, hey, she can do it, I can do it.
Especially it's an aging industry if you think about it, especially like the higher, the bigger roles.
Yeah.
And we have it's 60s, 70s, and probably that's a good chunk of it. So we definitely need the next wave.
We definitely do. And that's an initiative that I've seen a lot of local LTAs take on, is trying to reach out and speak to the younger generation and get them into our industry, let them know what a great career you can have in title.
Awesome. What are some leadership qualities you believe are essential for success in this industry?
I think there's a couple qualities that you need to be successful in this industry. whether you're in leadership or not. And I think that is the investigative mindset. I think any role that you have in our industry, you have to put that investigator hat on. Nothing is black and white in this industry. So you really do have to be a creative thinker, investigative thinker, think outside the box, be open to change. That's hard for a lot of us, but our industry is always changing. Yeah, I think that's what I would say.
Awesome. For women looking to step into leadership or start their own agencies, like in the East Coast where you can't do that, what key piece of advice would you give them?
I would really lean into that mentor piece. I would reach out to other women who have done the same thing or who are doing the same thing. Pick their brain, figure out what they did, because we can learn from each other's mistakes, right? And the other thing I would say, which has really helped me rise in my career, is you have to have that confidence to stand in that room and sit at that table with the other men in our industry who've been in this industry for a long time. It could be intimidating, but the way that I've built my confidence is really through the education piece as well. And so if you're looking to start an agency, just absorb as much as you can about what goes into that. And when you have that knowledge behind you, you're just going to feel stronger and you're going to do great.
You just mentioned that our industry is always changing, that for that we're going to shift gears to automation and innovation in industry. Technology is reshaping the title industry. How can women leverage automation and digital tools to advance their careers and business?
I think women need to embrace, just like men, honestly, but women really need to embrace these changes because they're happening whether we like it or not. And we have to get on board. I know there's a lot of talk about AI and people are scared, but I truly believe that the ones who are going to succeed are the ones who are going to be able to leverage these tools just to make themselves more productive, stand out in a very, saturated industry. We need to do something, right? So my advice to women is just take it all in, learn about it, don't be scared, and just go for it.
Yeah, as the adage, I repeated this in the show a few times, is that you're not going to lose your job to AI, but you're going to lose your job to somebody using AI.
Exactly.
And that's why we have in this the Title Agents podcast, we have a segment called AI Corner. So once a month, we kind of demystify it and really kind of try to dumb it down as much as possible to make people not scared of it.
Yeah,
so
that's a great idea. Yeah.
So we're working on that, like take that the fear out of it.
Yeah, exactly. If you look at it, it kind of mirrors how in a long time ago now, I think it's been like 15 years, the one we introduced offshore resources to our industry, right? It was the same kind of concept where everybody was scared of something new, and it's turned out to be a great tool. Nobody's lost their jobs. We just use it as a great supplement to what we're doing. So I do see kind of technology and AI mirroring that journey as well.
Let's go. You mentioned giving back and community impact earlier in our conversation. So Women in Title focuses on charitable initiatives. Can you share some of the ways the group is making a broad impact beyond our industry?
Yeah, so I can speak to the Denver chapter specifically. So, like I mentioned earlier, each year we pick a local charity that supports women in our community. Last year, we chose Homemade Colorado. Homemade is in a lot of states, so a lot of agents listening to this may recognize the name.
Yeah.
And so, we were lucky enough and we were able to collect 3 carloads worth of items needed for women living on the street or women escaping, unsafe living environments. We also, thanks to all of our members and their generous donations, we did a silent auction and were able to raise a lot of funds for their cause as well. And this year, we are organizing our very first volunteer day for International Women's Day next month. So,
well, what day is that?
It's going to be March 8th.
March 8th.
But we're going to do it in the middle of the month because March 8th is a Saturday, but just for everyone's schedule. So we picked a local charity where a lot of our companies, pay for a volunteer day, almost like PTO. So I've got a great group of women who have opted in. We've picked a local charity. We're going to go help them throughout the day. And so that's what we do. We really, really like to pick those charities or initiatives within our community that we can help and give back. And a lot of our other chapters in other states are looking to do the same thing.
Awesome. We are definitely gonna put your info in the show notes, and so listeners can look into the information, see if they can either participate or maybe expand the group to their locations.
That would be great. Yeah, we want to see everybody have the opportunity to participate in our community. So we're excited.
So how can listeners get involved with Women in Title and support this mission?
So right now, join our community. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. You can find us on any of those. We just opened up our new community forum on LinkedIn, which is a private group on LinkedIn. It's a safe space for women to talk about any issues they're having, any topics they feel are relevant. So join that and follow our public page for updates. Reach out to me, reach out to anyone who's a member of the community, and we'll tell you all about it. It's our favorite topic. We'll talk about it. And, we'll provide you the resources within your city and your state. And if we don't have them there yet, we'll help you get started, and we will support you in your needs.
As a follow-up question, I'd assume the LinkedIn forum is specifically for women only. And a second question is, what kind of conversations are you seeing that you can share? I mean, if it's private, obviously keep it private, but.
Yeah, so right now the forum is just for women. We just locked it down to a private forum this week. So the conversations are still just brewing. And we have feelers out, and we have a survey out to the team to try to encourage them to start those conversations. So we expect, career advice or difficult situations that they're dealing with at the office. Those are the types of conversations that will come up in our in-person meetings. So I expect the same within the forum.
Awesome. So we're getting close to the end here. Do you have a favorite quote?
One quote that I really like recently is ignorance is the same as evil when judged by the outcome. And the reason that I like that is because we often dismiss inappropriate or offensive behavior because we think, oh, that person doesn't know better, or oh, they don't mean it. But when you look at the outcome and the harm that it does, I truly believe it's no longer an excuse, and we all need to do better.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite book of all time, or one that's resonates with you that you read recently? Or
I'm not a big reader, but one that I did read at a recommendation of a friend is called On Our Best Behavior. It's all about the history of the women's movement and kind of societal pressures on women and the difference between our experiences. And I think it's a really powerful read. It opens your eyes, and I recommend anybody reading it, male or female.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's a wrap up for another episode of the Title Agents Podcast. A big thank you to Kimberly Whitlock for sharing her insights and for the incredible work she's doing with Women in Title. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a conversation. And if you found value in today's discussion, would love for you to leave us a 5-star review on YouTube, and also one of your favorite platforms you're listening to this podcast on. It helps us to reach more title professionals like you. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
In a world where change is the only constant, MoChoumil stands at the forefront, guiding title professionals to not just grow their businesses, but to master the art of innovation. With every episode, you're handed the keys to unlock unparalleled growth and stay ahead of the curve. Get ready for a transformative journey